Hi everybody, Rose here. Okay, so I wanted to add an additional video for our Valentine pot holder. I was messing around and I added a trim. I also did a different heart on this. When we do this heart, you'll be able to have this option as well. But I decided I wanted to put a trim on it just to give it a little bit extra. And so I'm going to show you how I did that. Again, you'll still need your tapestry needle and a pair of scissors. So let's get those out of the way. And we're still going to go ahead and use our H hook. So I'm going to, since I did this in this jazzy Red Heart Super Saver ombre, I'm going to still go ahead and use that. I want it to have that contrast against this white. So I'm going to go ahead and start up here at the top. And I'm going to start with a slip knot. I'm going to join. I joined in here. Okay, and so this right here is the next stitch. And I'm going to join with a single crochet. I'm just going to go straight into that stitch, get my yarn set up, and I'm going to grab that yarn. I'm going to pull it through. I have 2 strands. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through both those loops. That is a single crochet join. And now what I'm going to do in that same stitch is I'm going to do a double crochet. And a double crochet is where you yarn over, and we're going to go down into that same stitch. I'm going to grab our yarn and pull it up. We've got 3 loops now. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to go through 2 of those. And then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go through 2 of those. Double as in 2, single as in 1. And then we're going to put a single crochet in that same stitch. So we're putting 3 stitches in this one. And that's our little cluster bit. And then we're going to skip this next stitch. And then we're going to repeat this. Single, double, single. So let's do it again together. I'm going to go into there. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to yarn over and go through 2. Then we're going to yarn over, go back into that same stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet. So we're going to grab our yarn, yarn over, there's 1, yarn over, there's 2, and then another single crochet. Go back in there and pull it up. I'm going to just yarn over once and go through them. And then we're going to skip a stitch, and then we're repeating it. And that's what we're going to do all the way around. I'm just going to do a single double crochet, single into that stitch. And it just forms this little extra bit. Very, very Valentine-y look, doesn't it? Now we're going to skip another stitch, and let's just keep on repeating that. Single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, all in 1 stitch, then skip. So go ahead and work that all the way around, and then when we get up to here, I'll meet you back. I'm not impressed with that fabric fusion. Okay, I'm coming back around. Single, double, single. And I think I'm still going to go ahead and skip a stitch and go into this one. single. And if I want it to be, since I kind of want it to be matchy with this, I'm going to split my little cluster. So I did a single crochet. Now on this next stitch next to it, I'm going to finish my little cluster. So I'm going to do a double crochet. So let me back that up. We've got these 3 stitches left. Or if you don't have that, but I have it, so I'm going to skip a stitch, and then in this one I'm going to do my single crochet, and then this one that is right next to my loop, I'm going to do my double and my single. That way it'll look pretty close to that. There's all sorts of ways we can like manipulate our project to where it still looks the same. And how about I'm going to go right back into that last stitch, and I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch. So you just go back in there and grab your yarn, you pull it through, and then you just pull it through your little loop. And then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm just going to cut me about 4 or 5 inches. So let's see what that looks like. Well, you tell me, what do you think? It's like a little bit of a cheat, but it still produces the same thing. Pretty close. I mean, nobody's going to be looking at it that close. Okay, so now that fabric fusion was a little bit of a disappointment. So I'm going to show you how to sew these on. So I'm going to use this yarn. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take about, let's see here, I think about 24 inches will be good. Okay. And I'm going to string up our tapestry. Just leave a little tail. Now I'm going to put mine underneath my red heart. I'm just going to eyeball it, and I want it to be just like when we were gluing it down, but I don't want it to be falling down on the white. I kind of still want it up on the pink. So I'm going to turn my project to the loop is facing this way, which is the right, and your righties will be turning yours this way. It really doesn't matter because you can literally start anywhere on the heart, but I'm going to start at the bottom so that when I go all the way around, I'll end at the bottom. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingers down and I'm going to lift up the bottom. And this is not rocket science. I didn't fully understand it when I was learning how to do it, so I'm going to hopefully be able to break this down. I'm just going to pick up one loop, and I've got my heart pulled up, and I could go on the very end, or I can just kind of go, so instead of going right here, I might just go in like a row, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go in a row, and I'm going to pick up anything. I'm going to pick up one strand. Sometimes it might be 2, but I'm just going to pick up one loop, and I'm going to pull it through. Okay, and I'm just going to leave a little bit of a tail, and for now I'm just going to tie a little square knot just so I don't have to worry about it coming undone. And I think I'll go ahead and do that twice. Okay, and we'll worry about that later. Now I'm attached, and the thing about it is it doesn't show through. This is kind of like how you can sew without it showing through. Now when I did this one, I purposely went over it because I wanted that extra bit. but this is, I don't know what the technical name of it is. I'm just going to call it an invisible, well, I have no idea what it's called, but we're sewing it on to where it doesn't show through. All right, so I've got my first one, and you can space these out as far as you want. And it doesn't matter if this side has more and this side has less. We're just sewing it down. So I'm going to pick it back up, and I'm picking it up so that I can get access to these stitches that are underneath the heart instead of grabbing something out here. If I grab it out here and try to sew, my yarn's going to be showing through. So I'm going to pick it up, and this is another little bit. I can come from this way, I can come from this way, and even if I needed to, and there has been times I have to come from the top to grab something, because depending on what project you have and the way the stitches lay, they're not always going to be lining up. Like this is kind of lining up because we've got these double crochets here. So I'm going to utilize that. I joined down here, and I got this gap here. So I'm just going to pick up one loop, and this looks close to where I picked up a loop, and then I'm just going to go through. Okay, there's two. And I don't mind that this is going to be up a little bit. Okay, and then again, I'm going to pull it up, and let's just go, I'm just going to pick it up like this, just to show you. And then I'm going to just pick up something else. That's where that glue is, so I'm going to poke it through. I love that it doesn't have to be a certain way. I can pull it from however I need to, and it's still going to produce the same thing. So I'm going to turn it a little bit, and that's how I'm going to be working it. I just want to flip it up a little bit, pick whatever strikes my fancy, and it's usually just one loop. It's got that glue on it, so grab it. And if I can get some kind of a straight line, it's good. I mean, I'm basically just trying to eyeball to go one row in. Okay, looking good. I'm going to just keep turning my project. Now I'm in a gap, but when I put it down, it does cover the gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the closest loop at the end of that, and then see what I can grab here. Boom. Keep turning. And let's see, I'm going to pull that up. This is still underneath it, so I'm going to go do that. I thought it would save time just to glue it down. I contemplated actually using hot glue because it's like, you know, I'm not worried about it melting a little bit or anything, but I thought fabric fusion would actually be good. Maybe I just didn't put enough on. But you need to learn how to sew these things anyway, so this is a little bonus. And yeah, that is showing a little bit, but when I'm done, it'll end up closing down. So I'm not, I mean, it's going in the corner of a window. Which I will insert a picture, which I might have done in the other one. Let me do the paw holder. There we go. I'm going to turn it some more. Just lift it up a little bit. And here we are in some kind of weird hole. So I'll go on the inside. Pick it. That's all, got too much glue on it, so I'm going to just go down a little bit. Once I realized that I can pick up whatever loop, it really made it a lot easier on me, because, you know, in the beginning you're just so conscientious about not messing up, and the stitches have to, for me, the stitches had to line up. Everything had to look like what they were doing on the screen, and I would get really frustrated that I couldn't produce it. It's really hard on myself when I was trying to learn. There. Now I'm back. Okay, just going to pull that down. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do one more. But before I pull it, I get my thumb, and I'm going to just pull it, push it right through there, and then I'm going to make a little knot. And now I can just, I'm just going to go in here. I don't want to go through the back because I've got white, so I'm just going to push it up underneath the heart. I can feel that I'm kind of like underneath this granny. And then I'm just going to push it out through the top. Okay. And then we'll do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, while I have you, ow, oh, I've got a pulled muscle. I really need to work it out. I'm going to get some more of this Fabric Fusion and see if I can just maybe just put more on. Maybe I just didn't put enough on it. But I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if I can just put more on here. Maybe I'll do closer to the edge. Okay. And I think I'm going to put something hard on it. Like maybe a book. Ah, I found a book. My boss, which I guess I'm just going to call her my friend. She is my boss, but she gave me this budget by paycheck because she knows I like to itemize. I'm starting to get back to itemizing. So anyway, thank you, Mary Beth. Take that, Fabric Fusion. All right, we'll see how that goes. So when that dries and everything, I will click back on here, and then we can decide. I'll have to decide how we're going to do this, if we're going to be sewing or gluing. All right, so that is all I wanted to show you, is how to put this lovely trim on this. And when we do this granny, you'll learn how to do this. And I may whip up another one so that I can show you how to sew this one on. But I like all these contrasting colors. And these two are actually the same yarn. It's from this ombre thing. So now I can like switch them out. Okay, well, until this dries, I will just catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Have fun. Bye. Okay, so I am back, and I did another round of that Fabric Fusion. This Fabric Fusion. Okay, I am happy with it. It really holds it all down now. I just didn't put enough on. So yeah, I'm back on board with this. So I will be re-gluing these. And then what I did is I put a book on top of it and let it set for a day. And now, even though it's hard, it won't matter because I'm just going to be hanging it up. So there's that. Now, because this video is up now, I whipped up another one. Actually, this was my first one. And it is, I did it in a H hook, and I think my tension was a lot tighter because it's just a little bit smaller than this one. But no matter. So I just didn't want you to be concerned if my heart looks bigger than yours. This is just smaller. So now that we have our heart, you have an extra heart. I'm going to show you how we can sew it onto this so you have these options. I'm actually going to put this one in my bathroom. It'll be fun. I need a manly one for the boys' bathroom. So here's my loop, and I'm going to center the corner or the divot of my heart in line with that, and just kind of center it up a little bit, however you want it. As long as I'm grabbing both those loops, I will consider myself good. So I'm going to skip one. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit, and I'm just picking up one loop. And I'm just, no rhyme or reason, I'm just going to go. And that way I get this, it's very, very light. I probably should have went with the darker pink, but that's okay. And I don't like that it's drifting, so I'm just going to move it down a little bit and stretch it a little bit. Pick up another one. Pick it on through. This is a lot easier than trying to hide it, but hiding it definitely serves its purpose too, especially when you're sewing something on and you don't want it to show through the back side, because the back side is not going to be like hidden. And I'm going to come back, just lifting it up a little bit. Pick up a couple loops. I had an aha moment this last week. I've been not really stressing out, but sometimes it takes me a couple hours. I wish I was joking, just to get set up. The lighting, trying to find the right light, being able to see some kind of my TV for the monitor, which is not up on the wall, and it's facing, you know, not in the most light friendly place. Now here at this corner here, I am going to lift it up underneath, and I'm going to go right in the middle where the heart makes the lowest divot. Okay. And I had an aha moment, and I can't wait to show you guys. When I feel like I'm feeling like it's working, then I'm probably going to show you how I film and everything. Like I said I would in eons ago. You know, anything I learn, I want to be able to share. I know that filming setup is not crochet related, but you know, you never know who may be watching right now that might be thinking about, wait a minute, I did not get enough yarn, that might be wanting to start YouTube for whatever reason. Actually, this is a mixed blessing, because I can show you if you didn't take enough yarn. And this is what I'm doing. All right, so working with scraps, you never know if you have any more. So I don't need a whole bunch. I don't know. What am I doing? I'm going to just grab all my scraps. All right. This is how I'm going to do this. There are lots of ways to join yarn, but I am just sewing this on and I'm going to hide this. So I am just taking it and I'm just going to tie a square knot. I'm just tying it. Made 2 knots, but it will still fit in my needle, so that'll be fine. Yeah, this is really light. Oh well, I'm already committed. Keep on picking that up. Okay. That's really funny. I probably have enough. All right, now I'm back at the bottom and I'm going to pick up another one and I'm going to go, actually I'm going to go in the same one that I started with. That same stitch that I started with. And before my knot goes all the way, I'm going to catch it before I pull it tight, that loop. Then I'm going to pull it through and make a knot. And now, actually I could just pull it through because this is the same color. But if you did a different color, let's just show you this way. I'm just going to go underneath the heart and underneath this part. I'm just going to go up the heart a little bit and then I'm going to pull it out. I mean, is this like chicken or what? I gotta show you. Look at that. That's where I tied that knot. That's the end of that yarn. Didn't even need it. That's cool. Okay, now I'm just gonna stretch it around, scrunch it up. This will be really cute in my bathroom. Just a nice little different something something. Okay, so there we go. We've got Valentine pot holder decorative. I really like this trim. I'm glad I added that. And you know, even with these hearts, we could put one of these small hearts in the middle. I mean, you can layer this like a cake. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this variation. I'm going to get back to work. I've got a lot of suggestions coming in from you guys, and I think it's awesome. My mind is just swirling. And until I see you, you guys take care out there, okay?